a sea the size of a small country, the fourth largest lake on Earth, and almost all of it gone. Ships left to rust in a dry desert for 50 years, 100 kilometers from any water. Then a single wall of packed earth, just 13 kilometers long, started it all back. Water rose. Fish returned. People came home. How can a simple wall of earth bring back a whole sea? In the 1960s, Soviet planters wanted cotton. They called it white gold. To grow it at scale across dry Central Asia, they made a decision that would change the map. The two great rivers feeding the Aral, the Sirdarya in the north, and the Amudarya in the south, were rerouted, not into the sea, into an enormous irrigation network. About 30,000 kilometers of canals were dug. The Karakum Canal alone is one of the longest in the world. Most of it was bare dirt channels cut through sand, no lining, no seal. A third to half of the water soaked into the ground or evaporated before it ever reached a cotton plant. The sea was being drained for water that was largely wasted. By 1987, the water level had dropped so far that the Aral split in two, the smaller North Aral in Kazakhstan, the larger South Aral in Uzbekistan. The exposed seabed became a new desert, the Aralsk, roughly 60,000 square kilometers of toxic salt and old farm chemicals baked into the ground. The fishing towns died. The boats rusted where they sat. There is a painting still hanging in the train station in Aralsk. It shows 1921, the year Aral fishermen loaded 14 train cars of fish and sent them to feed people starving across Russia. This sea once fed nations. Then, it was gone. In 1978, a young Russian zoologist named Nikolai Aladin traveled to the town of Aralsk. He had just finished his doctorate. He came to go diving. The Aral was famous for its clear water. He arrived to find the port completely dry. The sea was more than 30 kilometers away. He tested what water remained and found the salt had doubled in under 20 years. That moment became his life's work. For years he worked with almost no funding. The scientific world had written the Aral off. Experts said saving it was a fantasy. Aladin kept going anyway. Then in 1992, local fishermen who had lost everything decided to act. No budget, no engineers, just trucks, sand, and desperation. They piled rubble across the Bergstrait, the narrow passage connecting the two halves of the sea. It was crude. By any standard, it should not have worked. The water rose. For a few years, the North Aral filled. Then in 1999, a spring flood overwhelmed the sand wall. It collapsed. Every drop of water stored over 7 years drained south and evaporated. Nothing was left. The press called it the end. The sand wall was gone. All the water was gone. So how did the sea come back at all? Think of the North Aral as a bathtub with the plug pulled out. The Sirdarya River still flowed in, but every drop escaped straight through the Bergstrait into the vast south, where it spread thin across the flat basin and dried up under the sun. The sand dike had already proven what plugging that drain would do. The water rose the moment the strait was held. That evidence was what turned a desperate local act into a project worth funding properly. In 2005, Kazakhstan and the World Bank completed the Kok-Aral Dam. About 13 kilometers long, made of packed earth and reinforced concrete, with 9 controlled gates. The 9 gates solved the problem that destroyed the sand wall. When spring floods arrived, the gates opened, releasing the surge safely to the south. No wall failure. No collapse. Pour water onto a wide baking tray and it dries in hours. Pour the same water into a narrow, deep cup and it lasts for days. By sealing the strait, the dam turned the North Aral from a tray into a cup. Less surface exposed to sun and wind. Less evaporation. The water had nowhere to go but up. Experts said it would take 3 to 5 years for the North Aral to reach its target water level. It took months. The water was back. But was anything alive in it? Before the dam, the North Aral was nearly as salty as the ocean. That is the problem no satellite image can show you. Salt pulls water out of fish eggs through osmosis. If the salt is too high, the egg loses moisture before the young fish can hatch. The water can be full and still be a graveyard. This was exactly the science Aladin had spent his career studying, how living things survive changing salt levels. He knew the rising water was not enough. The salt had to fall. The 9 gates did something beyond flood control. They acted like a kidney. Old, heavily salted water was released south. Fresh water from the Surdaria was held in the north. Slowly, the salt flushed out. Once the salt dropped below that threshold, no one restocked the sea. No trucks of fish. No intervention. More than 20 species returned on their own. Pike perch. Bream, carp species gone for decades, back because the chemistry was right. Then the birds came: pelicans, flamingos, ducks. The food chain rebuilt itself without a single human hand guiding it. Today, the North Aral produces around 8,000 tons of fish a year. Processing plants have reopened along the coast. More than 1,000 fishermen are working the water. Seafood from here now reaches markets in Europe. Towns that had been left to the old and the forgotten are filling up again. Young people who left for the cities are going back. A reverse migration that Central Asia had not seen before. The coastline that once retreated 100 kilometers is now back to within 25 to 30 kilometers of Aralsk. But it has not reached the old port yet. Stand on the dam and look south. The price of saving the North Aral was accepting the death of the south. The Amu Darya was never redirected. The South Aral is still drying. One decision saved one sea by letting its twin go. Right now, Kazakhstan is raising the dam higher, pushing the water the last stretch back toward Aralsk, toward the rusting cranes and abandoned harbor that have been dry for more than 50 years. Will the waves reach that old port again? That question matters beyond this one sea. Lake Chad is shrinking. The Dead Sea is falling. The same forces that killed the Aral are at work in dozens of other basins right now. What the Kok-Aral Dam proved is that even a severely damaged ecosystem can recover if the intervention is precise and if it comes before the point of no return. The North Aral did not come back because of a miracle. It came back because one man spent decades understanding exactly where the threshold was, and because a 13-kilometer wall held long enough for nature to do the rest.